Okay, so the Impatiens taught me a little something about species. I'm a beginner, so I didn't pay attention to this. I wish I had, okay? So I bought these two, down on 14th Street, there's a nice farmer's market. So that's where I bought these two, and I bought the one on the other side. And here, I didn't pay attention, but this is actually a New Guinea Impatiens, okay? The other one, it turns out, is a Walleriana, and I wish I had known that because that does better in the shade. The New Guinea need a little more light, but unfortunately I put them on the shady side of the tree, and I put the Walleriana on the still shady but brighter side of the tree, okay? So you can see they're okay. I mean, let's see, I do see some blooms, but just for a little contrast, let's take a walk over to the other side. And by the way, you'll see the Tyrannia's got some nice blooms. The other one's got a little something going on there. And the Hellebores looks good, this one. And there's the other one. There's the other Tyrannia. And oh, I have to say, the begonia is a real powerhouse. This thing is unreal. It's just been bloom, bloom, bloom since day one. Now, the Impatiens had flowers, if you look earlier, but they lost them, and that's because of the transplant. I had a laugh online. AI said, well, Impatiens is a bit of a drama queen. But take a look at this one. This is the Walleriana. Look at this thing. It's spread, it's bigger, and it's got blooms coming all over the place. All right, so next year on the other side, I'm gonna do the Walleriana. Okay, and in fact, I noticed that Home Depot has a cultivar called Beacon, and they're bred so they're more fungus resistant. So next year I'm just going to put the Beacon Impatiens on the other side. But we'll see how the New Guineas do. I'll leave them for now, and we'll see how they do. All right, so let's update you on the Impatiens. Now here it is, and as you can see, it's struggling here. It had flowers, as I said, they fell off, and then some came back. I said, all right, let me see what happens. Some blooms came back, but guess what? It barely bloomed and then fell off, and that tells me it just doesn't have enough to push those blooms through, and it actually reduced in size. It's kind of stringy and stuff too. All right, so I'm tired of seeing it suffer. I'm giving up on it. I'm not going to just toss it. I'll move it to the street down the pit down the street, and I'll show you that when I do that. Now here's the other Impatiens, and what I did is I moved it from what I think is the darker side to the lighter side, and look at it, nothing. It's actually reduced in size, and there's no budding or anything. So I really have come to the conclusion it's too shady in this pit, and there's too much tree root competition for New Guineas Impatiens to do okay. All right, so let's take a look at the Walleriana, which is right here. This is done somewhat better, okay? You can see it's got some flowers. It does have a lot of buds, so I'm gonna wait a little longer, but there's no question about it. The Walleriana is better than the New Guineas in this kind of pit, okay? Finally, let's get over here. Look at the begonia, still hanging in there. Now, it did lose some stuff, and so what I did is I mixed in some compost, and I'm keeping it wet. I don't think I have to worry about overwatering. I think it really needs the water. The flowers perked up a little bit. Let's see what happened with some of the leaves, okay? So when I remove the other Impatiens, I'm actually gonna get another begonia because it's pretty good. And this time I'm gonna get a big begonia. It's supposed to be even more robust than this one. All right, so I ordered that, and I'll show you that when I plant it. Oh yeah, might as well update you on the other annuals while we're here, since there's only one other one, and there's Tyrannias. And here's one, and you saw it was blooming away, and now they kind of came off. I do see more buds, so we're gonna give this some more time and see how this does. And here's the one that was on the darker side. It's actually smaller. And I don't know what's going on with this one. We're gonna wait and see. So far of the annuals, the begonia is the best. And I think I'm gonna get either the big begonia. There's also called the dragon leaf one that's supposed to be pretty robust. I think I'm gonna try those, but I'm gonna try the big, and I'm gonna try it over here where I'm gonna remove this Impatiens because I wanna see how it does on the dark side. Oh yeah, one other thing. In addition, another thing I got recently was plant supports. You can see one here, it's like a half circle, okay? And then here's the straight one. I haven't used that yet. But I got the half circle because I really need it on the lindens. They tend to spread, and you can see it there, you see? It goes around, and that really keeps it in place. Just got to cruise over to the other side, and look at that, okay? Keeps it from sprawling too much, and I also put some plant ties to help keep it more upright. So this is really useful. Okay, I'm going to show you how I modified the bucket. So I am using the rows. I have it facing up. But the problem is it still dribbles out too intensely at the end there. I don't like that. So what I did is I tried cheesecloth. That didn't really work. So what I did is I got some nylon stocking. I got 2 layers of it. And I just held that on tight with a rubber band. And I'll have to say I love this now. It comes out, still dribbles out, but nice and slow. I can be very precise and water around, you know, whatever plant I want to water around and try to get the roots. So I think this was a really nice modification. All right, I've gone through a lot of changes with the watering pot. And again, here we go. But I was so on the other one. So here's what I did now. I just bought a rubber cork with a inch hole in it and stuck it in the end. And I think this one's the best because, you know, look, it just comes out like, it's very easy to water where you want. And I'm really trying to deep water here. So you just got to stand there and look at that. It doesn't pool or move the mulch, you know. And that's important because these linden roots are right at the top, okay? And they just grab everything, the water and the nutrients. So I think this is the best watering wise so far, okay? And it was easy to do. All right, one final thing. Since I had to get a bunch of corks, what I did is I drilled the holes a little larger. So this way I can, you know, regulate the flow. If I'm just watering the surface, wetting the surface, I'll probably use the biggest one just to wet the surface. And then, you know, so I can stand there in slow water, I'll probably use a smaller one. All right, so we'll see how this works out.